What is up, gang? Let me make sure. What's up, fam? I hope you guys had a great day. We had a great day here in chat. Let me make sure everything is live and that everything is good before I start going on and on and on and you guys get nothing. Looks like we are good to go. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you could, please hit the like, subscribe, and share. If you could, comment down below your plays. Okay? Why? Or if you have a question, you want to bring up a chart, put it up. We'll go over it. We'll give you our ideas from your thoughts. Maybe you know something we don't, or we'll just see what the chart says. All right? It's good. It's good to have a place you can go to and get feedback. Whether it's your trades, whether it's life, anything. So again, thank you for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe if you could. I don't feel well. It may not seem that way, but I don't feel well. I don't know what it was. I'm starting to feel actually a little bit better. So I don't know what it was. I'm just exhausted. 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night will start to get to you. But I'm good. I'm doing okay. I'm here. Let's go over it. Let's get it. I'm going to make this a short live, but I just started feeling a little bit better. So huge day today. Huge day. We're going to talk about the trades. We're going to talk about some, can this market hold up where it's at? Like, what do we expect? We have some inflation data tomorrow, guys. We have PCE, manufacturing, and, what is it? PMI, manufacturing. Let me see. I just don't, like I said, I don't feel well. So I've been saying it all week, so I don't understand why it's now not coming to me. I did want to check out the 4-week and 8-week bond auction. There it is. Services. That's the word. Services PMI and composite PMI. We've had Powell today. We've had him for 2 days. Didn't get too much. Again, I stated why I thought it was. I thought it was going to be not necessarily a non-event, but it's something that the cameras are going. So it's more to do with airtime and being a politic on air and doing what you can do to get your vote and spitting your rhetoric than anything else. Because at the end of the day, they can always just get a hold of them if they absolutely have to. And they always work with one another between the Treasury and the Fed. Okay. Again, great day today. I hope you guys had a great day. You got to get your sleep, get a balanced diet. You got to come in. Trading is one of those things where if you're day trading and you find that whether you don't get sleep or just chaoticness, your performance is going to show. So you do the best you can. You just get, you got to do things in moderation. Okay, this doesn't mean I hear people say a lot about just packing it up and not coming back for a week or so. Like, does a quarterback have a bad game and then just doesn't go to practice for a week or show up the next game and takes a whole week off? Okay, if it's that bad of a performance, they probably, needs more than just a week. All right, so take that for what it is. There's nothing wrong with shutting it down, walking away, but that doesn't mean that you have to come back and try and make your money back or whatever. You need to be disciplined. You need to know the setups. We're going to teach you all that here, okay? Because you should... Oh, there goes the camera. Are you serious? Did it just freeze? Hold on, give it 1 second. If you guys want to help me in chat, I don't know if it paused on me or not. It did, didn't it? Wow, that's so weird. It's all good. So we'll just shut this thing down a little bit. All right. So see what I mean? It's just been too much. Randomly it does it. I don't know why. All right. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Of course that had to happen. Hello. So we traded Nvidia today. We had a great day. Man, we were all over the SPY. Look at this circle. This was our target. We got to the target, guys. This pennant, I called this whole all through here, man. The SPY and the Qs are going to tie into our trade. We have a great lesson. We have a great lesson. We're going to go over some trades. We're going to go over what we expect tomorrow. But first, just let me do this real quick, okay? Video capture. I don't like to do this on whatchamacallit, but hey. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Okay? Okay. I don't know why it is doing that right now. That's so weird. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you could, please, again, like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it. The S&Ps. The S&Ps were up 0.3%, 0.36%, just under 0.4%, just under 0.5%. All right? So, what did we say coming into the day? I had a neutral stance coming into the day. I felt more along the lines we could have an up day. All right. I felt instinctively the charts telling me what I thought would be somewhat of an up day. All right. Until proven otherwise. All right. You had a nice little double bottom here between pre-market and the opening bell. This is going to tie into our trade in Nvidia, and there's lessons I want to go into the trade. First, if you guys have questions and stuff like Amazon, let's go into some questions. Let's go over a few charts. First, let's go see what the Fed funds rate is, or the chances of. Let's go look at our handy dandy Fed Watch tool. All right, because that's important. I haven't looked at it at all today. 76. I can't remember if it was at 72 yesterday. So 76. We're still along those lines of the 25. We're getting it. We had Bank of England give 50 instead of 25. Okay. So the hikes are not just here. The hikes are around the world. Now they're behind us a little bit. So the whole world is telling you we need a contraction. We don't need an expansion. Okay, so going into that, I'm going to show you a chart, and I'm not going to forget, that is going to show you to back up the thesis of if you go long in this market, whether it's the SPY or the Qs, and it goes your way, please take profit. Okay, please take profit. Give me one. No, I'll do it later. It's bugging me. Hold on one second. I gotta get this light. Hold on. Sorry, I had to turn the outside light on. It wasn't on. So anyway. The SPYs were up. The Qs were up again. I'm going to give you guys a thesis. If you are long this market, okay, and not randomly, if you are randomly just buying to buy, make sure you're putting yourself in the best position possible, because this is why we do this. We do this because I want to help teach you guys to make money in the market. The market is not a scam. You just need the education. All right? There's so many different things you need to work on. Throughout the week on a day-to-day basis. If you're new, please keep your trade small. Keep your positions manageable until you really prove to yourself that you've got the market under control and you think you know what you're doing. Okay? Because if you were on the live today, you would have noticed that you guys saw the circle I had up here. That was obviously the target. The target was reached. I said all day, wait for about 3:15, 3 to 3:30, 3:15, maybe 3:30. I was thinking 3:30 was a little late. What time is it right here? 15:32. That is 3:30 in the afternoon. And members in chat will testify. I told you guys back here at before lunch and at lunch, guys, we're setting up for a bullish rally into the close. I said it in chat. I called out all of this. Called it out, okay? I missed my long here. I will zoom in. I'm on a 1 minute. That doesn't help. It really doesn't matter. So this downtrend line, I actually had it a little. I did not get that because I did not get the long on the afternoon, which I was looking for, and I did take the long. I took the long here. All right, it wasn't even nothing to talk about. I didn't strike out. We'll just say that I got walked. I got to first base. We'll just say that I got to first base. I needed undo. Do you guys see undo on here? No. Undo. There we go. Undo. Wait, why? Okay, so it did move it. Okay, cool. So sorry about that. So I did get long. It may have been right here. It may have been right. I think it was right here. Okay, so what I did was I actually had this downtrend line more like this. See, this is this is the 3 minute. So I had it kind of like this. I noticed, and I didn't take notice until it was a little too late, but I had my downtrend line like this. So as you can see, I completely missed the, I missed the setup. Like, I missed my entry, which I was waiting for, and I wasn't being too patient. It's just I didn't have my trend lines correct. All right, I didn't have the trend lines correct. So as you can see on this downtrend line, all right, it doesn't have to be perfect, but sometimes you want it to be perfect because you're going to see the difference between this, and I'll make this bigger, guys. Okay, I'll make this a 2, and then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to draw a line right from the highs to the lows, and look at that one. Look how that connects perfectly. All right, and matter of fact, when you broke out, see that long candle right there? See that long candle? It was on lighter volume too. The pullback also even touched and got bought right up off of that. So my trend line was a little off, and it's little things like that that can really kind of make or break your day. Not necessarily. No, I'm not going to say make or break. That's the wrong word to use. But if that were the case, then it's not a trade you need to be making. I mean, look at that. If I would have just did that off the top 2 in there, and it's tough because it showed you twice. You got the entry twice. That's 2, whether it's scalps, whether it's just a trade for 15 minutes, half hour. It's a nice green trade. You're trading the range. So I did take the long. I just got to first base. I pretty much got walked. It was a little bit of profit, stuck it in my pocket, moved on. There's reasons why. Again, let's say if I got long here and I'm way extended up here. Look at my 9 EMA. If you guys don't know what a 9 EMA is, you'll have to come join us. Because you'll see here, look, buy. You know, consolidation. Breaks up above, buy. But this is where you know it's going to, well, you don't know, but this tail with this, boom. So anyway, but there was the close. So anyway, the SPY is why I went long. We're going to go over Amazon. So that was the SPY. I did take a small long on that. Again, small profit, no big deal. Nothing to write home about or even talk about. Qs were also very strong, and they were strong this morning. I'm not going to say strong, but they were to the upside this morning. They were strong. Yeah, they were strong. So, with that taking notice, all right, I had last night wrote down a couple things. So we're going to get into Amazon. You had a nice little double top. Look at the support on VWAP. This is a 3-minute chart. Or this is a 3-minute chart, 3-minute candles. If you don't know, each candle is 3 minutes if you're new. You held VWAP, and what happened here that you guys need to pay attention to is not necessarily the double bottom, but look how you did not close below VWAP. Not one of these candles closed below it. All right, the close is what matters. Intraday, like the chart in and of itself, and candles intraday. All right. So, and you rallied pretty much throughout the day. All right. IWM. Okay. IWM didn't have such a good day. I had this on my radar. I had IWM on my radar, and I actually thought there was a bigger downside move than what it looks like there was. Yeah, off the bell. I wrote down last night. This is from last night's. Oh, the camera's not even working, so I can't show you. I wrote down IWM, and I wrote down next to it downside. Capital letters with an arrow pointing at IWM. I thought we were going to get some downside because of this reason. You guys want to use daily charts. You got to look at the bigger picture and then zoom in. So look at the range here, guys. I love ranges. All right. You go up, you bounce off. Go up, bounce off, and you go back to test the upside of the range. Come back down, and what happens? The bottom end of the range finally breaks. It finally breaks right here at 184.69. And what happened is you gapped below it. You tried to rally yourself back into it, and it closed you. It closed the candle green, but it was right at below the base. It closed at 184.60. So just 8-9 cents underneath of it. Okay, usually that's not a big deal, but to go from a gap down below it and then to try and rally in with that tail and then get rejected, that's a story just in that candle alone. And then what did you have today? You had more downside. You did get they did step in and were buyers, but you did have a pullback, which is usually always going to be the case. Stocks just don't move in one direction without pullbacks. But what I want to I was going to say, if I, you do need to, the IWM either needs to find support if it's going to march higher at 182, but really what would make this thing, it already did kind of make it support, but if you were to get some structure in here, you have the 200-day moving average here, guys, is what I'm trying to get at. Your 200-day moving average sits here at 179.50, just above, it's 179.58, roughly, or 179.63 is your 200-day moving average. Now, what would be helpful for the overall market would be for the IWM to get support there and regain that 200-day. Look here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but look at it. It made it resistance. It turned the 200-day into resistance, guys and girls. All right, look at that. It's plain as day. Look at the tail that you got off of it. You see that? This turquoise line is the 200-day moving average. Look at that tail. All right. You did rally up. You pulled back, put in a double bottom, got some volume, gap up, and you blasted through it. Look at this sell candle. You guys got to read the chart. It pulls back to it, and then bang. All right. Because if you notice, 200-day was resistance. And I'm sure it's not the only time. And look what happened here. It closes right at the 200-day. Gaps below it. Okay. So the 200-day and the IWM are friends. Again, support. Okay. Not so much back here. It's a little bit of consolidation. But you guys get what I'm saying. As of right now. So what would be ideal, and where's the 200-day put you? The 200-day puts you right at this base here, guys. Right above this line. But you have some structure here. That if the IWM were to pull back and hold, you could regain some ground and possibly try to march to the upside. I don't know if that's going to be the case. So this is why I said, if you're going to be long the SPY, or if you're going to be long the Qs, or if you're going to be long in general, okay? If you're going to be long in general, you need to take this chart and really soak it in. All right, this is what happens when something isn't right, when the market's telling you. I want to look at the camera, but it's not working or on. So guys, listen to me. you have to use all 5. And that means even if you use ARKK, ARK, which is your innovation, okay, it's higher than the IWM. Okay? These are going to show you institutional why can I not? Okay. What is going on here, guys? Holy shit. Okay, this is why. There we go. Alright. It's done that to me before. So, it's a workhorse. It's a workhorse. So look at the rally in the Q in ARK, and that has a lot to do with the Qs, more so than it does anything else. I also want to know if ARK can come back, if ARK can pull back to this $40 level, and see if we can't be a buyer. That's going to raise your 100-day, well, really your 50-day, and see if it takes a little time, but it does ultimately pull back. You could get your 50-day along with this area of resistance at 40.75, 40.50 area, and possibly turn it into support. But that's we'll see. So this what this does, guys, if you use the Dow, the IWM, the SPY, the Qs, ARK, you can use what else? You can use the equally weighted as well if you want to throw that in there. It means what it is, which is equally weighted. Like that is what it is. It shows you as if the SPY was equally weighted and not separated like it is, but like where one stock outweighs another. If the equal weighting did show up a little bit of a bullish sentiment, but anyway, the IWM is telling you that for the rest of the market to go higher and continue on a new bull cycle, we're going to need this thing to get up there. All right, the IWM is going to have to get its footing and start climbing. There's a couple reasons why it probably isn't, because there's things that are probably going to be happening in the future. Number 2, the main reason really is the fact that we're going into an environment of contraction, okay, not expansion. So keep an eye out. Doesn't mean you can't get a little bit of a rally and then it just get taken right back and possibly start, once that rejection starts, you're going to start the second half of that bear market. You know, if it comes, again, if there's not a soft landing. But this IWM is telling you, the bonds are telling you, the Fed watch tool is telling you that they don't believe the Fed is going to have such a soft landing, or they're going to be able to stick these rate hikes out today. All right. So you guys got to just in the morning, what I do, I'm not telling you guys what to do, but what the things that I do, I watch. I look at the chart of IWM. Now I know where they are because I always watch them. I go through the overall indexes, which is Dow, Qs, SPY, IWM, and ARK. All right, and a lot of times, real quick, I'll add in, you can also use these. I've traded the SPY off of the IWM. IWM was selling off because you have to start taking notice what is your leader and what is your laggard. And once you start doing that, okay, now you know it has been the Qs. So give it a couple weeks, give it a month, however long it takes, you're going to start seeing possibly. It's going to be hard now because the SPY and the Dow and the Qs, they're so far up higher than the IWM. But once they come back and meet, you're going to start seeing the Dow be the leader and the Qs are the laggard. It'll be the Dow, the SPY, the IWM, and then the Qs. And then vice versa, it'll be the Qs, the SPY, the Dow, and IWM, and that's what we have right now. Let me take a drink. I'm going to make this short and sweet. A lot of the reason you have this is because a lot of institutions are scared to buy because they know some of these smaller cap companies run out of capital. If they did not lock them in at long-term rates, okay, they could be in trouble. Like, which companies are not going to make it out of this? That's still a thing. You still have the issues in regional banks. We thought we were going to get something with Western Alliance again, but it may have been due to Powell in his testimony today saying that they're going to try and, or they were just they just started talking about raising capital requirements. But again, he explained to you yesterday, but in order to raise capital requirements, it has to go through a whole process of signing off, implementation, coming up with the standards, and that stuff can take up to 1.5 to 2 years before it's even implemented. And by then, we're already probably going to have rate cuts and be on our way out of this recession. So they went down. Western Alliance went down. Maybe it was other news. I'm not too sure yet. I haven't dug into it yet. But I want to say that that's why. All right. When they raise capital requirements, that means that the bank has to have an X amount of reserves to give loans. Like if you have just like when you go to short stocks, let's just say that you need $1,000 cash for every. Let's say if I have $1,000 cash, and then I have to keep 10% on hand at all times, but it was 5. So instead of having $50 at hand at all times, now I have to have 100 just in liquidity and cash in deposits on hand at all times. So that means in order for these banks to give loans, they have to have, on the other side of giving the loans, they have to have an X amount of dollars in reserves or deposits on hand at all times. Okay, and that cuts into their profitability because they're not able to give out as many loans as they would like to. Not that they want to even give out loans right now. They don't mind giving out short-term loans or even longer. It all depends, guys. I'm not a banker, so I'm not going to talk like I know how banking works. But I know they borrow on short-term rates and lend on long-term rates because that's how the yield curve is. They're able to borrow at a cheaper price and lend to you at a larger price. They get it for cheap. They give it to you for more. They collect the difference, depending on your credit, Fed funds rate, where the yield curve is, all that stuff. Okay? So, with that said, you have companies that are not cash flow positive, let alone that are cash flow I wrote that wrong. You have companies that aren't making any money, and that means they're not even making enough money to pay payroll. Okay, that's the point of the markets. That's the point of venture capitalist stuff, is to raise money. Okay, they can give money. They can they can issue. I forget what the hell it is. I just have a brain fart tonight. I know what it is. I'm just coming up with the words. I have this issue a lot, and I got to work on it. So, in turn, they will just give you shares, okay, of equity. And then as that price rises, obviously, it's more than your ticket price of your stock price. So the capital, whether it's a venture capitalist, whether it's, you as an investor, like if you go to a company and they need money, they, instead of if they want $10 million and they're not making any money, they will issue you $10 million in equity. And if that share price goes up to 12, 13, 15, let's say you make an extra 10, 15 million off of it, you're going to be a seller. And then, they're going to say, we need some money. You're like, yeah, sure. Why not? I would love to, So that's how this game works. If you're not profitable, they issue you notes. I know the word, I just can't think of it right now. So what that is when all this stuff stops and the share price doesn't go up and people aren't making money, and they could be sitting on this money for a long time. There's a lot of them that don't make it. There's the few that do, and they capitalize on it. So you kind of, that's how investing works. Like some people buy IPOs. They're going to lose on 10, but they're going to win on 4 or 3 or 4. That's going to outweigh that 10 that they've lost on. Okay. You can manage your risk in this, but that's like an idea. The 4 or 5 outweigh the 10 that they lost on. Okay. So that's just an idea of why investors do those kind of things. Okay. So if they're not cash flow positive and they were able to get rates at a lower rate, whether it's 2018, 2017, 16, 2020, if they didn't refinance or get loans, let's say they did do all that. Let's say they ran out of that cash, okay? They ran out of the cash. Now they have to go back. They either get it out of, they pull equity out of their stock price, or they go to the bank. Now, let's say the bank doesn't want to give it to them, or the bank doesn't want to give them as much, and now they're also paying at a higher interest rate. So there ensues the issue that can arrive if a company is not making any money and making enough to be just getting on its way to cover the amount of debt versus the amount of money they bring in, is all it comes down to. Their liabilities minus assets or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't feel well. I'm just exhausted. So that ensues the IWM small caps, guys. Let's get into the charts. I just wanted to go through that with you guys real quick. We're going to go over the trade in Nvidia. I want to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. Keep the banks on your radars, because the banks were the banks tried to. I actually was looking at this yesterday, the past couple of days. And why was I looking at it? Because, guys, we've called out BABA, like the Chinese ADRs, 2 weeks ago before anybody was talking about them. Okay, Friday during the live stream, we're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4. We called out crypto. We called out the ride, because you can play crypto through the equity markets. Okay, we called out a bullish pattern that was setting up. And guys, this actually was taking place before the BlackRock. So if you hear them talking about what's his name from BlackRock, Ken maybe something. I'm thinking Ken Griffith from Citadel, but obviously it's not him. Oh, Larry Fink. Larry Fink is his name, okay? He came out and said something about, I think, don't quote me on it, it's like an ETF that follows Bitcoin, maybe the exact price, or like a future of some sort. I don't know. But I think it's along those lines. But guys, it was setting this pattern up well before he came out and talked. And they talked that talk to help it. To help the case of that bull pattern, guys. So when you see patterns, the market tells you things in advance. And I stressed that today. We went over a lot of things today in the live. Guys, come join us. Again, if you could just like and subscribe and share it. Even just liking and subscribing and watching will help someone else out that is probably struggling, that could use the help. Because we covered level 2, we covered the tape today. All right, and I was reading off in real time and how to help you guys. And then I start trying to paint the picture for you, and maybe you get it. But you have to take days to to learn these things. But if you aren't kind of told the basics on like what it is you're looking for, maybe you don't get that picture painted as well as it should be. You'll kind of, if you use common sense and just look at the price action, look at the numbers that it goes to, but just knowing how it reacts at a certain price, and then when it comes back, like this and that, and I was given a really good case for it, and that'll help you with scalping and having your orders ready. Looking at moves and being able to say, hey, I'm going to look for a long at 330, 315. That's exactly what I said verbatim on this live. I said we're setting up to rally into the close. What did we do? We rallied into the close on the S&Ps. All right? Guys, I've been doing this for a while. I'm so passionate about this stuff. And if I was not good at this, I would not have this live stream. I would not make myself look like an idiot. I wouldn't do it. If it was something that I picked up and didn't know much about, maybe I would still be learning it and not doing anything like this. But I've been doing it for a long time. I've been educated by professionals. I work hand in hand with them. I talk to them every night. I wanted to say on a daily basis, but it's not necessarily on a daily basis. So this losing money can stop. Come join us. And even if you could just like and subscribe, comment, whatever, it'll help someone else that could really use the help. Because we have a lot of information on here, guys, on a daily basis that could really change someone else's life. And I mean that cold-heartedly. There's so many videos, whether it's just to give views and this and that, and why they say the market's a scam or the market maker this. No, dude, I prove it every day. I say where I think the market's going to go. Majority of the time it goes right there. Guys, I had my oval for the SPY. I said, this is my target. I called the time. I called it at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning that I wanted to be long at 3 to 3:30 I wanted to be long going into the close. And what happened? Just take a look at the chart. Let's get into it. Thank you. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, guys. And if you have any questions, type them in the chat. Okay, we're here to help you. This is why I have this. Ideas, say, hey, this is running, or I'm looking at this stock. What do you think? Do you want to pull it up? And do you want to give me some insight on the chart? Just tell me what you think versus what I think. Because you guys need to come into positions the best you can at a neutral stance. And then when you go into a neutral stance, when you go to the stock, you say, what makes the bullish case and what makes the bearish case? And whichever one fills up first, whichever one you have more reasonings for, you're more than likely right. Okay? If you know what to look for. You have to know what to look for. Right? You have to know what to look for. And chances are, if you just can't come up with a reason to be short at all whatsoever, to be long, then by all means you got to be long. Whether you think the market should go down or you think the market should go up, take what you think and put that to the side. Matter of fact, roll it up, throw it in the trash. Follow the charts. Just do what the charts say. Don't have an opinion. You can have where you think it's going to go because of the chart. What the chart tells you and what other, using the Dow, the SPY, the Qs, and the IWM, what I think is going to happen. Okay, you can do those things. I'm not saying you can't. But to say that the market has to come down right now, it doesn't, and it's not. But will it later? Yeah. Maybe we need more time. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the IWM hits this 200, 100-day moving average and starts rallying, and the markets, the Qs, the Dow, and the SPY just trade sideways while the IWM meets up and we go into a fresh new bull market. That's also a case to be made for. So that's something, that could there's just a million different things that these things can trade. If you just have to know what you're looking for. All right, you have to know what you're looking for. Come get an education. We don't charge anything. It's free $99. Right here, Ivy League Trading, youtube.com, 7:30 to 4. All right. So again, thank you. If you like, share, and subscribe, if you left a comment, I read them. I will get back to you. I promise. All right. If you're new and you don't understand something, just say, hey, what does that mean? Or, could you tell me like I don't understand interest rates. What are interest rates? Or how do they affect the equity market? How do they affect the dollar? All right. So I'm done with that. And the other thing that I look at with the 5 indices, I also look at the dollar and I look at the 2s and 10s. The 2s and 10s are the 2-year rates and the 10-year rates. Okay. And the dollar. That will be, you can look at it, you can use UUP or you can look at Dixie, DXY, which is the US dollar. All right. And we actually thought that the dollar was, and we measured this move out. We had this flag here going up, and it looks like it's almost made the flag. If it gets back down here at this 101 level, 100 to 101, that's about where, if it's going to get there, it should be in that area if the downside's there. So we measured this move, guys. And look at that candle, boom. So anyway, we traded Nvidia. Let's go look at Amazon real quick. I want to get in that. So guys, I actually went through some stocks last night, and I actually for the past 3 days have been looking at Amazon and completely forgot about it today. I actually know I did look at it today. I did look at it in the morning, and I didn't, because pre-market it went up. Yeah, see this pre-market? And when I went and looked at it, it had already rallied and it was pretty much at my range. This is my range right here. That's a beautiful bull flag. That's a beautiful bull flag. Look at that, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can't measure this and see if we get the pullback, which you still need a pullback. So don't think you're just going to go long. Go long on pullbacks if it's strong. Now I'm going to get into the lesson, because the lesson's going to tie into this if you're going to be looking at Amazon tomorrow. So if you want to look at Amazon tomorrow, let's start with the first things first. Amazon is the sector leader in consumer discretionary. I'm pretty sure it's consumer discretionary. Consumer staple. I don't flip into it right now. I just don't feel well. But either way, it's consumer based. We know that much. It's either consumer cyclical or consumer discretionary. I think it's discretionary. I don't know. I just can't think right now. So you have a really nice bull flag here. Okay. You have a really nice bull flag pennant to the upside, guys. What do we want to do? Now we've made this support. You guys see, look at this range, guys. Let me back up a little bit. I have been watching Amazon because Amazon has not been breaking down like Google. Google finally broke down. All right. I've been watching Google or Amazon. Look at the levels that I've had. You guys have seen that I haven't put these up. I just got to Amazon. All right. These levels I've had, and I've been watching this range here from 128 down to 121. But really, it made the case when it hugged this trend line here, and that's $4 move, which is a pretty big move in Amazon. Not big, but you know it'll pay you. You get on the right side of one of these trades. Shit. I don't even know if you cut this long off the bell or even just during, just even halfway in hell. We're gonna say from here up. You're really going to know what the stock market's about, and that kind of trade right there is going to encourage you to get educated, I promise. You're going to be like, how do I do that again? How do I replicate that? We can teach you right here. We go live at night. We discuss the markets during the day. We give our trade ideas for the following day at night, usually around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then we're live 7:30 to 4 during the day on YouTube.com, IvyLeagueTrading.YouTube.com. So we've had this range, guys. Let's go. First, we got to go to the daily chart. But I missed this. I watched it pre-market. And I had it on my list. I just didn't know when it was going to break out or anything because, like I say all the time, this is a range. This is a technical, like, bull run, like, just as beautiful as you can get for a, second leg higher. There's more left in this trade, but let me go to the daily chart and make sure. Look at this long-term uptrend. It's not long-term, but we're going to say it's a month. All right, maybe just under a month, okay? It's about a month-long upside, and what's it do? It just consolidates. This is when it gets good, guys. If you see a stock after a bull run like that, okay, and it consolidates, what that's telling you is it's getting its foot in the ground and it's getting new money behind it to make the second leg higher. Because there are legs, these institutions, fiduciaries, like all these traders, myself, there's reasons why these things do this. Because there's second legs to the move. All right. It puts in a small range, and what this does is it allows you get some shorts in there. Okay, maybe they don't believe in the run, but you also get your buyers that step in. Look at these candles. Boom, boom. Look at that day. And if I scroll and look at these green candles, okay, shit, I'm sorry, but these green candles allow for it's not either, but it allows for new money to get put into the stock, and it makes its next leg. Like, look at this day. All right. And all they did was wait, and you had a double bottom here. Look at the MACD, negative right to positive. Like, it's beautiful. So next time you see a stock make an upside move and let it consolidate for about a week, I would say honestly, let it consolidate for like 2 weeks. Find a range, and if you notice that it's not breaking down, and especially if the market's pulling down and the stock is still up at highs, like the SPY or the Qs, depending if it's tech, but I'm just going to say the SPY. So if the SPY is starting to pull back and you're noticing Amazon or whatever it is you're looking at is still not making lower lows and lower highs, and it's just sitting here consolidating, it's not coming down. It's only a matter of time before it comes shooting up for the second leg higher. This is called relative strength. So let's do this real quick because I want to hurry. I don't want to be on here all night. We've already been here an hour, which is insane. Doesn't even feel like it. Technically, this is the move here. All right, I watched it this morning. It was on my list. You had a double bottom right here yesterday. You rallied into the close. It was here on the bottom of my list. Now, when I came into the day, I was neutral. I wanted to be long here. I'm like, it hasn't broke. And because of what I just told you about the rally, the fact that it's went on a rally and it's just sticking this level, the probabilities it's going to stick it again, it outweighs the fact that it's going to break it, because it hasn't broken it. It has not broken this level. Once it broke it, it pulled back to and held it as support. Okay, and what does this also do if I'm long? I'm using yesterday's low, okay, as my stop. So this is my stop. This is my, if I were to get it, see, it's up here, but if the stock's here, this is my stop. I get in right here at the green line, and my stop is below this double bottom. It breaks it, I'm out. And I may not even have to wait for it to get here. And what is this? This is what you guys got to also think about. This is 123.85, and we're going to say the line's right here. We'll just go up a little bit higher just to make the case. 123.85 to 124.39. 50 cents. We're just going to say 50 cents. So we're going to risk 50 cents to do what? To make, we're at 124 cents. We'll just go right here from where I started. Yeah, 124.50 we'll say, okay? 124.50 to the upside of the range of 128. So you're risking, I'm just going to say $4, even though it's more than that. It's a little bit more than that. You're risking 50 cents to make $4. Where else in the world can you do that? Okay? That is risk to reward. How many times does 50 go into 4? 8. I guess you would call it. Not even, maybe more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8 times. So, you know what I mean? What is that, an 8 to 1? That's an 8 to 1 type of move, guys. You will always be profitable, and you will do damn good for yourself if you get to trading stocks that have a 4 to 1, 3 to 1, let alone an 8 to 1. Okay? And what does buying down here do? Even though it's down here at lows, you're like, oh man, it's at lows, I don't want to buy. No, your risk to reward, guys. If you buy here and you give it, you don't need much room for it to tell you that you're wrong, is the point. So instead of buying up here and the stock pulling back, because you have to wait, because technically you're long until it breaks this level, you're not wrong. But because it pulls out, you stop out, and then what's it do? It climbs higher without you, and then you say the market's rigged. No, you got to buy right. You got to buy right. You just got to know what you're doing. And it gets easier with time. That is the psychological aspect of markets that people say is a scam. You're either trading too much, you're taking trades you shouldn't trade, and you're probably putting too much size on trades you shouldn't be trading. All right? That's one little lesson just off of Amazon. Make your losers small and let your winners work. Just let them work themselves out. If you start worrying about buying right here and risking yesterday's low as an example, because technically it could pull back there. It was support yesterday. Chances are, if it's not support today, the stock's going lower. And that's 50 cents. Where's the upside of the range? 128.50, almost 129. And it went to 130. So it doesn't get any better than that. So when you guys go to trade, please think about that. Say, if it's in the middle of the range right here, no trade. Let it go to the top end. See if it rejects. Let it come down. Buy it. Let it go up here. Depending on the volume. Okay, you can use volume. Look how much bigger this volume is compared to all the other days. Okay. Do you guys see that? Use your tools along with it. Like, look how much volume this is compared to here, compared to here, compared to this little shit. Look at the consistent relative strength. Every candle at least was about 3.3 million shares in a 3-minute candle or 15-minute candle. Okay, instead of being 1 point something. What is this? 2.1. All right, what is this? 1.5. You've doubled the volume. It doesn't take you long to see that. That's relative strength. These are the things you got to use in accordance with buying right. And this kind of stuff will tell you if you're wrong or not real quick. you'll say, oh shit, wait, this thing's got not only, it's got the volume, it's probably going to have momentum now. You don't have to wait to get stopped out sometimes. If you buy right, you might get stopped out because you're buying right where you should be, and the stock turns away pretty quickly. It is what it is. You just cut the loss and you move on. All right? You don't just throw shit at the wall. All right? If you're throwing shit at the wall and you go and tell other people the stock market's a scam, you can't do anything. No, you just don't know what it is you're doing. Okay? Don't speak for everyone else. You speak for yourself. Please. If it didn't work for you, there's probably a reason. There's probably a reason why the biggest banks in the world are in the United States with the most liquid market in the world. There's probably, if the markets didn't work, those banks wouldn't be who they are. JP Morgan wouldn't be who they are. Goldman Sachs wouldn't be who they are. All right? So think about that. This is the financial institution right here in a nutshell. All right, Amazon, let's do it. We're just going to put the flag here for just whatever reasons, even though I should put it right here. Again, we already went over it. We know the move. What is it, about $4? A little over $4. $4.50, we'll say. So let me go back. Let me try and delete this line if I can, because I want to do it right. So we can get the expected move again. We can actually just add $4, $4.50 to here. See, the thing is, it put a double bottom here. All right, let me use the fib. Let me go to the daily, and let's do all that junk so we can actually show people the market is not a scam, and we can try and help them, give them an idea on what we should expect on Amazon tomorrow. And then we're going to get into Nvidia, and then I'm going to go through a couple charts that I want to show you guys for some ideas for tomorrow. All right, we have inflation data again tomorrow. Not again tomorrow, but we have inflation data tomorrow. I just wanted to repeat myself. So be ready for those numbers, because the market could change if we get a surprise. All right, the market can change on a dime. I'm actually going to say on a 15-minute chart too that it hasn't pulled. Maybe it has. See, maybe it was like the SPY and was kind of. It definitely got. I never miss these type of trades. I never miss them. I never miss them. Or at least I should say I haven't in the past. If I've expected it, I haven't missed it. No. All right. I'm sorry, guys. And now my little girl's yelling. So, here she comes. She said, Dad, what are you doing, Dad? But yeah, I was hoping for a bigger rally and stuff, so I was kind of like worried. You know, the SPY and the Qs have rallied so much the past, couple weeks. And what did Tesla finish at? Did it finish green, or I'm gonna put it right here at the support. I'm gonna put it right there at the support. So where can we expect this move at? What is this? 133.99. So 134. I'm just going to put a line here, okay? I'm just going to put a line right here. Nope, I guess I'm not putting a line. Oh, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to start working on not, making things work when they should. Double checking that they actually click when it should be clicked. I don't know if it's the mouse or what. You guys hear my mouse going off. Where you going? Please? Alright. I'm going to make this quick because she's hungry. She's got food. It ain't like she doesn't have food. She just wants either more or whatever. So we're going to go to the daily chart real quick. We need to know what it is we're working with. Alright. So I can probably take this off. So you guys see that long rally and it just puts in a base. Boom. That's nice. It's a nice increase in volume too, man. Nice increase in volume. All right, let's get it. So there is the upside. Let's look at this line first real quick. Does that put us anywhere? Oh, look at that. It fills the gap to the T. You guys see this? Look at that. Tell me that didn't just line up with my chart. You guys just got to get an education, okay? Just got to get an education. You can sit there and try and measure the move, but how do you know you're measuring it right? Yo, tell me that shit ain't On point. Look at that, guys. To the T. To the goddamn T, guys. Tell me I didn't just, you know what I mean? So that's where we expect Amazon to go, is to fill the gap. It's pretty wild, ain't it? Once you get an education and you know what it is that, you're doing. Please, if just by me showing you this, guys, look at that. Look at the base. Learn how to measure your moves. All I ask is for you to like and share, possibly comment, maybe ask me what I think about a stock that it is you're looking at. Even if it's Forex, if it's futures, or if you know somebody that's into the equity markets and the stocks, send them over. Send them over, guys. Look at that, guys. We're filling the gap. That's what it looks to be. So what do I want to do? I want to be a buyer on pullbacks. It may not give you a pullback. Doesn't have to do anything. But I do expect it to get to 134. All right, that's our target. So I'm going to look and see how it reacts right here at 128. I'm going to zoom back in. I'm going to work my way down to make sure there's not something else in the way before that it can pull back to and continue the rally. All right, this is the 4 hour. I can get rid of that line. All right, I can get rid of that line because we know where our target's at. So Abby, please. Please, Turkey. I know. Just let that get done. Please, I only got a couple more minutes. All right, so let's look at the 15-minute chart, and then we can decide what it is we want to do. Hold on, baby, please. Sorry, let me just take this. I'm going to kick your butt. All right, so we have Amazon here. Jesus Christ, I got to clean this desk off. Please, Abby, please, please, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to stop. I love you to death, but I need you to relax. All right, so we traded Nvidia today. I have a couple stocks that I want to look at. I'm sorry, baby. You just have to hold on. I know you don't know what's going on. I'll feed you in a minute. You got food. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. So we traded Nvidia today. I want to get into a lesson here. All right. We can go. Nvidia's been one of the strongest stocks in the market, along with Tesla. All right. So there's a few different reasons why I chose to play Nvidia. All right. I know, baby. You just have to hold on. Now she's like, so look at this tail we had yesterday, okay? You see that tail? I can probably just get rid of all this stuff, but I'm not going to do it right now. I probably need that line for later on. It is rolling over. It is a bit overextended. You have a lower RSI. See how the stock makes new highs and the RSI put in a lower high? MACD, it's put in a double top on the MACD. Let's see. Am I on the daily? I am. Oh, that was AMD maybe I was thinking of. So you don't really have price action up here, guys. Let's go to a 15-minute chart, okay? All right. So I was long Nvidia today, and I couldn't have bought this stock any better than I did. And listen, I knew that I had to be my entry had to be on par with what strike price I had that ended for Friday, because I needed to be able to buy right in accordance of a couple different things being the reason. The reason being risk, okay? Managing my risk, okay? So we have a 15-minute chart here. I was using the 1 minute, 2 minutes. I used all of them, okay? So we come up this morning, all right? Nvidia is on the list. I don't even know. It was on the list because of this previous low. Yesterday's low. I was looking at a couple things. You guys see how we have... Please just lay down if you're going to jump up here. Please. Please lay down. So we have a triple bottom here. We have one, and it was all resistance prior. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I should have just fed her before I came on, but she was sleeping. So look, we had resistance here, guys. All right, look, support, boom, boom. We turn this resistance into support. So again, what are the probabilities? That's all we're trying to do. The probability of it holding is better than it is breaking right now because it hasn't broken it. All right, you're putting in a higher low. Obviously, you can see here today. So I said I'm going to go long. I'm going to long Nvidia. Now listen, I'm going to bring up two charts. I'm going to explain this whole game plan to you guys. So what we have to do is we got to bring up the Qs. We can bring up the Qs and the SPY. I love you, Turkey. You got to get down. Come on, go over here, please, because I got to do something. Come on. Please, baby. So I'm going to bring up the Qs. I'm going to go to a 1 minute chart or a 2 minute. We can go to 2 minute. It doesn't matter. Now, what you guys are going to see here is really cool because I had conflicting evidence of like a conflicting thing that I didn't notice until I was already in the trade. Didn't get nervous or anything. I can't remember if it was, no, I think it was actually before. I noticed it just before. So here we have the Qs. I was gauging it off of the SPY. Let's zoom in here. We're on a 2 minute there. I'm actually going to show you guys the SPY because this will make your trading easier. All right, it'll make your trading go a lot easier. So we have the SPY. All right, there's the SPY. Let's go to Nvidia. Let me take time and sales off. We don't need that. That's down. Let's go to Nvidia. NVDA. I'm going to change this. That's spelled right, so I know I'm on the right stock. Equity, appearance. We're going to make the background black. We're going to get rid of the grid. Apply. We don't need MACD or anything, so we're good. All right, we're on it. Let's go to a 2 minute chart. I probably wouldn't mind using a 1 minute. That way we can really dig into it because I was using a 1 minute chart. I was using them all. Like I say, I scan as I'm in the position. I go through them all. So, off the open, we had a nice rally. I was watching it pre-market. Look at pre-market. See how I had a sell-off. What did the SPY do? The Qs technically did the same thing. Sold off. The SPY comes in at support, at previous support from 7 o'clock this morning. All right. I know that like this is it. Like this, like we have to hang on where we're at. Or we're going lower, and we're going lower in a hurry, probably. I wouldn't say in a hurry, but because we don't have a reason to go down. We also have more of a reason to go up because earnings were not as bad. Guys, anytime you want to gauge the next 3 months, just go back, take a look, or just catch the sentiment on how we're earnings. Because at the end of the day, you'll start to notice earnings dictates. If there's no other reason, like the Fed isn't going from 0 to 100 interest rates, from 0 to 100 on interest rates, if earnings are good, the market's going to go up in that direction. If the markets don't meet, whether the valuations are even higher, but if we had a bad earnings quarter throughout the market will go down. Just keep that in mind. And going forward, take notice of, okay, the majority of companies are beating earnings. Sales are beating, there's more revenue, etc., etc. It doesn't matter the PE, the sales to rate, doesn't matter. They beat earnings, okay, across the board. Now, are we going into an environment that's a contraction? Yes, possibly, but until we get there, the market can go up. All right, that is my point. We don't have, at this moment, a reason to go down. You can come up with all these things, but until interest rates start showing, either the job numbers coming down, spending, lending, until that data comes in to bring the market down, it's not going to necessarily go down until a reason for it to go down shows its face. Okay? Ukraine war. Market went down. It showed its face. They talked about it. Market still didn't go down. Once it happened, the markets went down in a hurry. Fed talked about raising interest rates, gave the market a warning for a while. Market didn't go down. The Fed gave the second, third 75 basis point, made the case, the market went down. It got it, then it went down. So that's what I'm trying to portray, is until the reason shows its face, you get a bank, just something happening to cause the market to go down is when it will. So right now we could put in a base or we could go up. Anyway, SPY regains its footing. What's Nvidia do? Puts in, look at this flag. All right, I wasn't necessarily concerned about the flag itself here because it's a tight consolidation with tails on both ends. Really, there's more tails to the downside, as in on the upsides of the candles. Like you have a lot more wicks here than you do here. Kinda, not really. You know, because you have nice long wicks to the upside. So maybe we can make a case for both. And that's this candle right here. This is the indecision. And then what happened? We took off. All right. I'm going to go to the 1 minute because I used the 1 minute for my entry. So Nvidia goes to the upside. Now first, let me do this. I'm sorry, because I want to show you guys what the chart looks like as I'm going through the trade. That's the whole point of this. You guys can learn and start trading like a professional trader. All right. We know we have our little bull flag. Okay. We have a bull flag. That doesn't mean anything. It does, but it doesn't because you're not given a movement to the upside or downside. So it's not like we just sold off and now we have this like bear flag or bull flag. It's a neutral flag. It could break down and then that just gets sellers to hop in. Boom, 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 and it goes down. Well, nope, the buyers still were buying. So we break the level that we held. All right. This was a level that we were watching. And I was also watching. This was the level. I'm sorry. This was the level. We never broke it. Okay. I was waiting for this to be resistance and then possibly come down. But what's the SPY doing? The SPY is curling itself up. The SPY is on its way up. The Qs were strong. So with me knowing that the SPY and the Qs are strong, that's telling me the tech sector or there's enough buying going on that the buyers are in control. I watch these just like I have here. SPY's going up. I say, okay, so what happens? Nvidia goes up. All right, I missed the first pullback. So what do? Here's what I do. All right, I say, okay, now I'm watching volume. I'm watching volume on the 1 minute, 3 minute, and 5 minute. All right, I fooled around with the 2 minute, but I didn't really, it doesn't, it'll kind of send you mixed messaging at times. So as far as volume, I'm going to see the 1, 3, and 5, and 15 for volume. Right here, guys. So here's what we do. We have decided the trend. All right, we have all these wicks right here. We break up, okay? We break up. What do we have? We have right here is our first, whatchamacallit. So I want you guys to know something real quick. This VWAP is going to be at a different angle than what it was at this morning because you're timing in the whole day. So it's going to pull it up or pull it down in accordance with all these candles throughout the day and the volume. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Because people don't know this and really look at the moving averages like they should. Moving averages move based on time and price. What do we have? We have a full day of price and a full day of time. Here we didn't have that. All we had was we just had till 9:45. So the VWAP and everything's going to look different than here. Because you closed up, well, you closed flat technically, but you filled the gap. And you went and you rose all the way up here. You went green and stuff. So that's going to pull the VWAP up, and it's not going to show exactly what it looked like. Now, it's going to be close, but not exactly. So let's get into it. Even the 9 EMA. The 9 EMA is going to be moved. It's going to be in a somewhat of a different spot than it was in the morning. You'll just have to watch me do this stuff live. So we came up. Here's the level. All right, there's the level. I missed the first entry, and that's okay. I said if it's going to give it to me, it'll give me another entry. Whether that entry's here or wherever. Maybe it's down here at the 38.2. So what happens? We move higher, and what do? I'm going to show you real quick where I missed the entry, because I know after going through the options chains, knowing where I want to be, what's going to pay me, what's liquid, all that good stuff, how many shares of open interest versus the volume, you need to know even what they both mean. All right. So we make our second high. I'm like, shit, I missed it. I missed the bounce off of, what do you have here? This is the initial morning high. Okay, we have what? We have the initial morning high. That's 1. Okay, it didn't click. I'm going to make sure that we don't mess this up and go to a different thing, so I want you guys to see it. So here we have a base with the initial morning high. We break it. Okay, we break it. What else do I have at this initial morning high? I have my area of what was resistance. So automatically, off of this rally, I'm not buying. I'm not a buyer. I want to see a pullback into that same area. And what else is there? The 38.2 Fibonacci. Now, what is the 38.2 Fib? What is this? What does the Fibonacci tell you? Fibonacci tells you a move. Okay? It is a measurement of the move. Now, in accordance of what level it is at, you're going to have buying and either, buying or selling. Because if I get a slight pullback to the 23 or the 38.2, all right, that usually, and it holds, and buying, those are areas that buying steps up, because I expect buying to step up here with resistance. I got the 38.2, and I'm in the middle of 90 MA and VWAP, but again, we have a full day of price, so they're kind of construed too. This will tell you whether it is selling or just taking profit off of this move right here, from whether they got in at this candle and it's up here, they went long, they got the move, they're taking pieces off. Okay? Or does it blow past these? Here's your 0, 23, 38, 50. Now, if I start getting down to the 50 and I start getting down to the 60, chances are this ain't profit taking, it's selling. All right? That's what this means. So you can gauge between the 23.6 and the 38.2. If you see buying going on, these pullbacks are just a little bit of profit taking, and it's not selling. It's not liquidation of the stock, that they don't want to be in it. So that movement in the selling gives you an idea of what's going on. The buyers are either just taking profit, or the sellers are just taking pieces as it goes higher, which is profit taking. It's not liquidation, it's profit taking. So we have 1, we have 2, which has the 38.2 Fib, the resistance, which is now support, and the initial morning high. That's 3 indicators lining up in the same area. I missed it. Shit. It rallied without me. It's okay. I said it live. If this stock is truly going to be strong, I will get another pullback. Whether that pullback tests the new high and holds, or it goes back to here. Doesn't matter. What'd it do? It went right back to here. And what is that? This whole thing right here is a double bottom on resistance with all the other indicators. So, with that being said, I went long literally right here. I was long. Took profits at this, in front of that, because of that tail, which is, I'm taking profits as I get my move because of the thing that I told you with the contracts that I bought and it being Friday tomorrow. So when I'm green, I'm taking it. What's the SPY? Now what's the SPY doing? What is the SPY doing, guys? The SPY's doing the same thing. Let me go back to the SPY. The SPY is going to an area of resistance. This is a minor level on Nvidia, which is different from the SPY, but it's really not, because there's the minor resistance level too. All right, you see how it held up here? This area, your pre-market, right here, here. See how it tried to turn into resistance and then broke it, and it's just chopping around? All right, now the SPY is going to be moving because of different things, but the reason I can use the SPY or the Qs is because the greatest weighting in the SPY is tech. What is Nvidia? It's tech. All right, no, leave. I want that gone. So I'm long Nvidia. I take a piece of profit off right here. Now, literally, guys, when I tell you I bought this thing right here on this pullback, I'm out. Or I'm not out. I literally, as soon as it wicked down, guys, I'm pushing the button as it's coming down into it. Okay? As it's coming down into this level, boom, I'm a buyer. Now, I'm long. But what do I see now? So I'm going through. Now I get a quick pop. I get a quick pop right here. I took a piece here, and I took a piece right here on that tail in front of this high that was resistance, that is also the close. Now this is going to be a little difficult if you're new. I do not expect this from you. For you to take profits here and then no, why would I take profits right here? Like, why would I be taking profits right here? Sorry, right here. Because I got my move higher through here. All right. What are we coming up on? We're coming up on the close that was previous resistance. Okay. This right here is the gap fill. And it's acting as resistance. So I know, even if I just catch this little move, guys, right here, I was up 30-some% just on this move. This, we'll get into it, but this right here, no, I'm sorry, right here. Shit. This right here, this thing, because these boom, 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 you were at 100% right here. 15 minutes later of entry, you were up just under, and it hit and went just over 100% if you bought right. I had no worries. I had no worries in the world, guys. Okay? I think I was down with the amount of contracts I had. I don't know. I think I was down maybe $5 a contract. I was down about, I don't know, $45. 55 maybe, I think it was. I'm looking at the chart, not looking at my P&L. I traded my P&L because I knew that we just turned the previous close into resistance. So I'm like, I got a double bottom. I got all these things matching up, but I still think, look at the SPY. All right, the SPY, but the Qs. Now let's go to the Qs, because I was watching the Qs at the same time. Look at the Qs this morning. Look at that. Boom. Look at that rally. They were stronger. Now, I don't expect the SPY to be that strong. I had the Qs up this morning also. I had the Qs. I wasn't using the SPY. I was using the Qs because they took off in a hurry. So I'm like, I want to be long. Tech is strong. What's the strongest stock in tech? Nvidia and Tesla. As easy as that. So, but planning your entries, knowing where to buy and where to sell, that is the hardest part of trading. But once you get it down and know what you're looking for, you can do this. Again, this is a zone of resistance, guys. I had a wick right here, which is the sellers are trying to turn this little base. They're trying to make it seem like, or they're trying to say, people are getting short because they're saying, hey, we just came up, filled the gap. Now it's time to sell off because the market should go down. Wrong. So I took a piece right here, guys. I swear I took a piece right here. All right. I got it quick. Ask them in chat. Boom. Took a piece of profit. All right. We extend higher. I get the break of this resistance, like support area, this little area right here. Okay. I take a piece off in front of, like, as this candle is rising, I'm taking a piece off because I sell into strength and I buy into weakness. All right. We took our piece off. Boom. Where are we at? I'm out of the stock up here because I had already made enough money. I'm not going to risk that becoming resistance again and put in a double top to go lower. And the Qs, at what time is this? 10:16, 10:13. The Qs were coming into this top end resistance, guys. Right here. This is such a great lesson, man. I wish more people could see this. I really do. That was my resistance in the Qs, so I know if I'm coming in a resistance at the Qs, chances are I might be coming in a resistance on Nvidia. The probability is it may be resistance. It might be, maybe we chop around or we start going to the downside. All right. You could have netted yourself 100% in 15, 20 minutes. Okay. We entered at 10, I don't know, 10:08, 10:09. I'd have to bring up my order. Okay. I called it out in chat. I had my buy point as support. Put in a double bottom. After we got the bounce, see, I don't know, and this is why people can't do this. They don't know if it's going to hold. They're saying the stock is going down. I don't want to buy. It's going down. It's at support, and if it breaks, VWAP, guys. This was going to be my stop loss. Right here. Just under VWAP. Why? Because look at this area again. This whole area could also become support. Maybe it sticks it again. But I'm going to stick to the 38.2. That was a buying point before. This resistance line, that's now support. There was buying off of that. I had an increase in buying. Now the 1 minute may not show it. But look, there is one thing I want to show you guys that I started to see. And this caused me to take profit. I'm going to take the Fibonacci off. I want you to see it's not going to show it. That sucks. Because of the time. And the moving averages have moved. So, shit. Here's what happened, though. I look at the 5 minute. Maybe it'll come up on the 3 minute. Let's see. Let's see if it comes up on the 3 minute. I hope this was a good lesson, guys. And if you guys have any questions, type them in the chat. Alright? Type them in the chat if you guys have any questions. So, what happens is, the 9 EMA started to act as resistance on the pullback from the close. And that had me a little worried. See, it's on the 5 minute. It's on the 5 minute. I don't think it's the 15 because we weren't even in the trade for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Because it gave us such good gains. You guys see this right here? You see this yellow line? See that yellow line? You see how it's curving right with it? And you broke it and you tailed it to come back. And that's why people thought they were getting short. They did get short. But guess what, guys? What do we have right here above the selling? The volume. Look at the volume. This is what gave me the psychological fortitude to stay in this trade at least to the close. And look at this candle. I literally traded this candle, guys. I traded that 5 minute candle. I got in right here off of this one. And I was out right up here. I was out up here. I'm sorry. Just through the close once we did get to it. Because we went through it. We pulled back. Made it support. And I had, I think, 2-3 contracts left. Alright. I was in the 440 calls for Friday. And yes, I did not like being in a 440 when the stock's at 420. Yes, it's been volatile. It's been doing about $8, $9, $10. So I said, you know what? It's going to dwindle my risk. But if I buy right, it's not going to have a chance to really explode in my face either. Because my sell is right here. And it still has relative strength with the market. Things just added up. So I dwindled my size in order to get that call option. It was the most liquid. So I thought if I were to buy this thing correctly, there should still be enough liquidity between buying. Because I still have this volume here. Okay, I don't have this volume, but I had this. Okay, I had this. I had 1, 2, 3. I had the opening candle, and I had 1, 2, 3 small ass candles. Not one 5 minute candle got bigger than the buying, and that's why I was able to not only get in because I got it in, and I don't know what's going to happen later. But that volume, the 38.2, the resistance turning into support, the VWAP, the 9 EMA held me in. I had one bearish indicator that was telling me a bearish signal, and that was the 9 EMA, this yellow line, and the price action, the candles acting as resistance. You see how it doesn't close above it? Never closes above it, guys. Never closes above it. You get a VWAP, crosses up. I mean, guys, this was a picture perfect trade. It was a small trade, but a huge trade. And I mean small as in the movement. I didn't need much. It gave me such a move in the direction I wanted it that I didn't have to stick around to find out if I was going to be right or if I was going to be wrong. And what would have happened if I stayed in the trade when I was just handed over 100% right here? All right. I think 100% actually was like the top of that candle. It was like right here. And then maybe the extension on that one. Because I got in at like 130 was the price I got in at. Okay. You can go back to the chart and look. I got in at 130 and I think they were all the way up to like 258, maybe they hit 260. Okay, but they were sitting for the longest time between 80 and 90% in 15 minutes, guys. Or 20. You can call it 20 minutes. Doesn't matter, but something like that, when the market hands you trades like that in the environment that we're in, you just have to take it. Okay? Just take it. Just go ahead and take the money and run. Now, because there's other things that are telling me maybe I don't think I'm going to get continuation. That is also another reason why I was taking profits like I did. Because I also felt like this was not going to be a boom bust type of day. Why? What told me that I said in chat? You guys can go back to the live and watch all this stuff. This move from 422 to the close at 430 is already $8. So do we think in order to get like decent green to be up like 2%, 1.5%, okay, Nvidia is going to have to move $16. $16. Has it moved $16 at all this range? This looks like to be your biggest candle, and this is 405 to 430. So yeah, it has. That day it did. You're right. It did. Now, as the stock gets higher, the percentages are going to change because 4%, or let's just say 1% of 400 is more than 1% of 100. So there you'll have 10, where here you'll have 40. Just saying. So keep those things in mind, because I do. I always have in my mind, where is the stock? Like if it's green, let's say, because it was on a gap down, because Nvidia gapped down. And I'm like, man, this thing gapped down. It's going to be awfully hard for this thing to not only go green. It can go green, but closing green and closing up like 1.5%, 2%, 3%, when it's already had to make nearly a $10 move just to get green, it probably isn't happening. That's a probability. Again, this is a probability game, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Tomorrow morning, I'll give you guys all my other ideas. So you can just watch like Carvana AI. You can watch Amazon. Watch the regionals. Not as a trade necessarily tomorrow. You can trade whatever it is you want. I'm not a financial advisor, but just keep them in the back of your mind. Anything can happen. You can get news at any time. Again, if you found this useful, could you please hit the like and share, just because I don't feel good. And I hope that someone was able to see this that hasn't been on the stream before, that could actually learn something from what I just taught them, because this was a great lesson. This was such a great lesson, guys. So with that said, I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. You guys get some sleep. Stay healthy. Stay green. Let's get ready for tomorrow. We have another big day with this inflation data coming out. And I'm going to be right there by your side. And I know you guys are going to be right there by my side to get us all through it, to come out on top like we always do. All right. The market's not going to hand it to you. You got to go in there and you got to take it. I appreciate you guys. so much. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope you're able to learn something. And if you guys have any questions, please just ask it in the chat. You see this later on, just ask it in the chat. I will read it. I'll get back to you. All right, I'll get notified. I'll get back to you. If you did find this information useful, again, please like, share, and subscribe. I want to say thank you for joining us. All right, you're a good individual. You have good things coming to you. There's a reason why you are living in this time period. Okay, you are meant for something, whether you feel that way or don't. God bless you. Have a good night. I will see you guys in the morning, 7:30 to 4, IvyLeagueTradingYouTube.com. We will